All right, what is up, everybody? Hope we're doing well and good. We are here with a client spotlight. I'm super excited. I know recently we talked to Justin last week, and now we have a great client, Andy, right here. And I'm very excited. His story is very inspiring. Andy, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, bud. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Great to have you here. And Andy, like why we're doing this, and I told Andy as well, it's like we know that there's people that are going to watch or listen maybe later on the podcast that are struggling right now. And Andy, before, he was trying to stay in shape, but there's just so much out there in terms of social media and, struggles and frustrations. And Andy's going to talk about it himself. And he was struggling. But he came into the program, lost fat, built muscle, feels good, has a good blueprint for himself moving forward. It's just been incredible to see his progress. So we kind of want to just share his story and hopefully inspire some people. Andy, is that cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Love it. So first, I just want to kind of get into a quick intro. Who is, Andy, if you want to tell us that, man, just like who you are, where you're from, how old you are, that would be amazing.
Yeah, my name's Andy. I'm 43 years old. I currently live in York Beach, Maine, on the seacoast. I also consider myself half Florida boy too. Uh,
Love it. Great, man. And what do you do for work? And share a bit about that if you can.
yeah, currently right now, I do a little bit of everything with my company. We have three hotels, three restaurants, three bars. So I do a lot of the property management and of all of the functionality of it.
Nice, nice, awesome, great. No, yeah, and we just asked because we want to let people know. Obviously, you're busy. You have a lot of things going on, just like these guys that are listening right now. And obviously, you made some changes in terms of your own fitness journey with your busy schedule, right? And I think it's really working through that. So yeah, man, I appreciate you sharing that. And so I want to kind of first talk about, Andy, if it's okay with you, some of the struggles that you were having before the program. What were some of the main obstacles that you were kind of running into?
Um, I mean, I started my weight loss journey. I'll just share. I got clean and sober from like alcohol and stuff. So I needed something, my mind was there and my spirit was there, but my body wasn't.
Mm,
So that really brought me into the gym. And I don't know, I kind of used it as another addiction and I hit it hard. Um, and it worked and it was great for a little bit, but it wasn't sustainable for me.
gotcha.
Like what I was actually doing to like my own body and stuff was, not good. And you know, uh, really that was my biggest struggle. I was afraid to eat food.
Yeah.
Afraid to see the needle go up on the dial when it comes to weight,
Right.
and all that. So that was originally my biggest struggle when I first started this journey.
Mm,
I ended up hitting the shoulder surgery after that kind of
yeah.
put me out of commission for almost a good year. So everything I had worked so hard for, I just couldn't seem for some reason to get it back.
Mm,
And like I said, I think what I was doing before wasn't sustainable, and it actually like demotivated me.
mm.
Just thinking about how like doing what I did before because it just wasn't enjoyable.
I hear you. And some of the restrictions, was it food restrictions, working out too much? What did that kind of look like?
It was actually nailed all three of them. Like I'd work out for 2 or 3 hours in the morning, 2 or 3 hours at night.
Wow.
I was, I read all these things about like in order to lose weight, like you have to do intermediate fasting.
Mhm.
So I was intermediate fasting on top of all that working out and doing like a carnivore diet at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was, yeah, we've discussed before. It's like I'm one of those. I read it and I believe it.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. So it's just a lot of, obviously there's a lot of conflicting things out there, misinformation, and you're kind of following that restrictive dieting, all the workouts, working out too much, 2 to 3 hours in the morning and night. 2 to 3 hours alone is a lot. So the fact that you're doing morning and night, or you were before, that's crazy, man. And so for you, like, you were kind of fed all that misinformation. You were trying these things, but you were more stressed, and you weren't even getting to your goals. So like, how was that kind of negatively impacting you?
Uh, can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So in terms of like the struggles you mentioned before, like,
Yeah.
those things that you were going through, how was that negatively impacting you in terms of maybe was it just like stress or
Uh,
whatever on your end?
yeah, no, I mean, it definitely, it was stress. I wasn't, being afraid to eat food, like, was torture for me.
Mm-hmm.
The place, I couldn't feel, I felt like I couldn't fuel my body.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, the stress and stuff that it actually, put the body and stuff under too is not the best.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And I think like when it comes to the things you were kind of going through, it related to all sorts of stress with you, and it was just it wasn't a good effect, that cause and effect. It's like we had all these restrictions, and you thought it would help the fat loss, the weight loss, the muscle building, but it had like the opposite effect with you. So no, definitely makes sense. And so my question is, obviously you've seen probably like a bunch of coaches, right? You've seen, different supplements, all these things. And then you saw my page, and I believe it was Facebook, Instagram, one of those. And so you wanted to join the program, but also you knew like there were other things out there you've seen before. So I'm just curious, before you joined, what were some of like the hesitations that you had right before joining the program?
Um, Again, I tend to want to believe everything that I see, and you see so many of these online coaches.
Right.
I got, I actually had an in-person coach.
Okay.
I feel I got burned by that person. Like, wasn't really an interest in like getting me to where I wanted to go. It was a financial payout, so
Mhm.
that didn't work out. So it just left a lot of hesitation
Mhm.
on everything.
Got it. Yeah, just overall, because it's like once we get that bad taste in our mouth, like previously, it kind of stays there. So no, definitely. But eventually, you took the jump, you got in the program, and so just talk about some of the results that we were able to get together, and how we overcame some of those struggles, if that's okay. Like, let's start with the results. Let's start there in terms of what you were able to accomplish.
Yeah, I was able to, cut body fat, lose weight, but at the same time, like, do it in a healthy way.
Mhm.
Like, you helped retrain my mind around food.
Mhm.
Um, we did battle a little bit in the beginning over the calorie intake, but I tried my best.
Yeah.
Um, no, but that's probably the main.
Mhm. Main thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think really that's the biggest thing is mentally just retraining, the things that you were kind of fed before. And so, what are the things that helped you just like retrain? Was it just kind of believing in the information, believing in me? Or like, what were the things that helped you be like, you know what, I should be eating more just because I know it's going to help me? Like, what helped you make that decision?
Yeah, no, well, you're a believable person. So, and I will say, before the program even started, you stuck out and helped me in the very beginning without even,
Mhm.
taking me as a client.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that was pretty motivational for me. Like, I work so much, I don't really have, and there's not a lot of people around me that share the same passion as I do.
Mhm.
So there's no community for me
Mhm.
in the, just staying healthy, like, trying to better my body. So, like, that was probably one of the biggest things between you and the whole program was, you gave me accountability,
Mhm.
motivated me, made me want to get up, better myself. You you figured out my macros for me. I had no idea what it even really was,
Yeah.
or what any of the science of that meant, because I just always thought the less calories you intake, the more weight you're going to lose. But, I wasn't building any muscle in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely makes sense. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, I think that's the like what you said is we started right in the beginning, right? What are some actionable steps we can take for you? And I know with you and all that misinformation you've heard before and also the busyness of your schedule, it's like we just kind of had to take it one step at a time with the nutrition and the workouts, having the right plan. So obviously you executed losing fat, building muscle. And so with those changes mentally that you've made with like nutrition, your thoughts, your relationship with food, also you losing fat, building muscle, like outside of your fitness journey, how have those changes, benefited you in terms of energy or productivity, confidence? Let me know what that kind of looks like for you.
Yeah, no, like it definitely boosted my daily energy.
Mhm.
God, 110%. The whole program boosted my confidence. I talked to you before, like, another thing that held me back so much was, I didn't know anything about, the body. So I just went in and hit it. Like, I was afraid to touch free weights because I didn't know how to use them.
Mhm.
But in my everyday life, it has given me energy. I have confidence. Like, I live on the beach, so it's like I can take my shirt off now and not
Mhm.
feel like, like somebody's like, well, look at this guy. Like, I'm confident with it, and and that's a big part of my everyday.
That's amazing. No, I love that, especially if you live right there too. But just having that confidence, the energy, I know with what you do as well with work and the management, like you have to have energy. And a lot of guys have it backwards. They're like, I'm so busy. Let me just go all in on work. And then they get overweight and low
Yeah.
on energy and then pills, prescriptions. So dude, that's just amazing to hear how we kind of flip that switch and we taught you the right way this time to like lose fat, build muscle. It's all amazing. No, I appreciate you sharing all that. And I think with the guys listening, that's definitely some inspiration, right? You're a guy that doesn't make excuses. You just need the right plan. And that's so important. And I think last thing for some guys listening that maybe need that extra boost, maybe need that extra motivation. What are maybe some things that you would say to someone that's like just starting out on their fitness journey or trying to get back into it after a few years, whatever it is? What's some advice you have?
I mean, take suggestions, like, you know um, try things you normally wouldn't do. I'm grateful. Like, for a long time I thought my prime was done, but I'm 43 and I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life, and
Love
I've just hit my prime now. My mind mentality about all of that has completely changed.
it. Mhm.
And that's part of the confidence thing too.
Mhm.
But definitely, like, take the suggestions from you, like, listen, like, step out of your comfort zone on certain things.
Mhm.
Just reminds me back on, when I first met you. I'm like, I'm not a leg day guy. Like,
Mhm.
I'm all set with leg days, and you're like, no, you're doing leg days. So, that's probably the best thing that you could do is just let go of what you did know, and take the new information and run with that.
Wow, amazing. No, I love that 100% because it's like, yes, you're obviously, because you mentioned 43, best, shape of your life. And it's just because you have like the right process now. So you have that confidence, right? Like I think what was holding you back before was all the restrictions. And you're like, oops, one second. I apologize.
No,
Is my camera off right now?
it is.
Okay, one second. I apologize. One sec. Okay. Oops. Let me see. Oops. Why is this not working? One second. Technical difficulties on my end. Apologize, everybody. Andy crushed it. I did not.
You did great, bud.
Well, one second. Let me unplug this. That died. Okay. All right. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you were talking about you just feel more confident like with the process. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that 100%.
Yeah, because I was mentioning like before, obviously you had like the work ethic, but it was restrictive. And in your mind, you might have been like, how long can I freaking do this? And work out for you like 4 to 6 hours a day at some moments, right? And then, obviously restrictive carnivore diet, it's like that's not so sustainable. So I think like with now, you're losing fat, building muscle with a process that you don't hate necessarily. Like you actually find enjoyment there. Just like you said, it's almost like that, addiction you found and something that really serves you and helps you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. No, super helpful. Any like last minute tips or just last second thoughts for you?
Uh, yeah. No, I mean, Danny, honestly, just take the suggestions straight out of the gate. I was hesitant in the beginning, and we both know that. But you know, just run with it, dude. You're awesome, and I'm very appreciative of everything you've done for me.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope anyone listening, whether it's now or on the replay podcast, grab some inspo from Andy because you probably hear from me a lot, but Andy is someone that, was in a lot of your shoes that are listening right now that you're getting fed a lot of information from social media or the news about all these different diets and plans and workouts you should be doing. But really, you have to simplify it to a personalized plan around yourself. Right. And Andy was able to execute, lose fat, build muscle. He's crushing it. And yeah, if you even want to chase Andy down, ask him some questions, maybe I could send him your way. We'll see. Awesome. Awesome. Andy, appreciate you. You could stay right there.
You got it.
I'm just going to end this out. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you. This will also be up on the podcast. And thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.